Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. Man, it's finally great to be back live streaming. If everybody remembers, actually, before I even get started, this is why it feels like it's been so long, even after Demetrius was here. Can everybody hear me? Okay, light up the chat. Let me see some thumbs up. Spam your favorite emoji, whatever. Just let me know that you can hear me. Okay. Oh man. All right, everybody can hear me. This is wonderful. Okay, so the last time I live streamed was back in October when I had Demetrius here with me, my coach from Minnesota, and we did a bunch of live streams with allowing him to plug his boot camps and then show me a couple of things and whatnot. And this was before I had a chance to basically announce the winners of my 100,000 subscriber giveaway that I had done a little over a month ago. And I had said that when Demetrius and I were live streaming, that while Demetrius was here, that was the priority. And then shortly after that, I was going to attempt to do the live stream and pick the winners and then go from there. But hopefully everybody that follows me long enough knows that lately I just haven't been able to post any content lately. I've just been too damn busy with work. And that still hasn't changed, with the exception of hopefully here recently. So I'm hoping that not only will I be able to continue to do live streams again, where I can review my APA matches like we're going to do tonight. I'm going to review one after I choose the winners because I've got 8 different winners to select. So I imagine that selection process could take up some time. And so then I can pad that time with reviewing one of my matches because I've told y'all before that I don't like to just go live and then pick winners and say, okay, everybody, congratulations, contact me and we'll figure things out. I always like to try to add something a little to the show, and reviewing a match I think would be just as good. So, like I said, that hopefully here within the near future now, with the exception of at the beginning of December, I'm going to London to see the Mosconi Cup. So I'm hoping to publish some content here and there. I'm probably gonna have to film it with just my phone, and if anything, I might publish a bunch of stuff to my Facebook fan page. So if you're not following me on my Facebook fan page, you might want to do there. But there might be a little bit of downtime while I'm in London watching the Mosconi Cup. But then when I get back, hopefully I can just be full force back into this, making some long form content. I'll be making some shorts, doing some live streams, and still continuing with my straight pool journey. Let's see here. Oh, David La Riviere. I hope I said that correctly. He said, "How about I show you my award?" Well, I have it. Oh, let's see if I can get. There we go. Got to make sure you don't see the glare from the lights. I went ahead and brought it in here. I have this normally hanging up in my garage. It's right underneath my Mosconi Cup jerseys. So that way when I'm filming in my garage, you'll be able to see it. I don't have it anywhere here in my office other than my lovely backdrop of cues and Accu-Racks and whatnot. But yeah, so when before I go to London, and then certainly hopefully after I get back, I hopefully can be back in full force as far as being able to publish content for everybody to be able to watch, learn, enjoy, laugh, whatever. To hopefully to show that I'm continuing to improve, and the things that I can hopefully still teach people can obviously help them improve as well. Okay, so having said all that, before I go any further, let me give my shout outs to my sponsors that we have here. I do have Onboard Sportswear. They are the makers of the jerseys of the Mosconi Cup. So if you would think that you would like a jersey of your own, like this one that I have here that I wear from time to time, like when I go to like big tournaments and stuff, If you visit their website, onboardsportswear.com or onboardsportswear.us, if you live here in the United States, we do have a discount code with them. And if you use the discount code LilChris10, it doesn't matter if it's in all caps or all lowercase. I don't think the discount code is case sensitive. You can get 10% off of your purchase. You basically pick one of the designs that they have in stock, and then you pretty much design what you want on it, like how I have my logo here on the back. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but there's a logo here on my left sleeve bridge. So when my bridge arm is out, then you can see it here. And then I've also got it on my right pec. And there's plenty of other stuff that you can put on here as well. So I have black and red because red's my favorite color. I mean, look at my room. Red's my favorite color. Look at my chair. But yeah, like I said, use my discount code LilChris10 on their website, and you can get 10% off your purchase. We also saw Outsville. They are the makers of the Accu-Rack, a template rack that allows you to have the perfect rack. You can't really see. There's actually 3 racks. It's just that I have to pan the camera up, which actually, you know what? I can do that. Let me see here. I have the technology. Let's do this. Let's see here. Is it this? Yeah, there we go. I'll cut my head off a little bit, but you can see I have a 9-ball rack, a 10-ball rack, and a 8-ball rack. And you can use the 8-ball rack to create a 9-ball rack or a 10-ball rack. It just depends on whatever it is that you want to be able to use it for. These racks allow you to have the perfect rack every time, to where all the balls will be frozen together, so that way you can have a good, consistent spread of the break, provided, of course, that you're striking the rack wherever you think you need to strike it with the appropriate spin on the cue ball and, of course, with the appropriate speed. I do have a discount code with them as well, which I don't even remember what it is off the top of my head. Actually, we can just kind of wait for it to show up here. But if you go to their website, outsville.com, I do believe it's just Lil Chris. As soon as I wait for the yeah, there we go. It's Lil Chris, LIL' space CHRAS, and it's important that you put that apostrophe in space, because if you put LIL no apostrophe and then no space and just Chris, it ain't gonna work. If you put LIL' Chris with no space, it's not gonna work. It's got to be LIL' space Chris. Use that discount code and you can get 10% off of your purchase. Now, let me return this back to here. I got lots of sponsors, people that I basically help try to help their business, and in turn, it helps me as well, especially if you want to be able to support me with using this stuff. Let's see what else. We saw Onboard. We saw Outsville. Moonlighting Billiards is another one. They are the company that makes these cutout templates for you to be able to set up balls in a straight line. That way you can do forms of line drills. They have what's called their drill partner, which allows you to put 9 balls in a line. And then they have their road edition that has 3 templates where you can put 3 balls in a line, and 3 templates that are curved. And each curved template allows you to put 2 balls in a curved formation. So when you put the 3 curved segments together, you basically create a semicircle. And so if you put the 3 together and then do the other side, you can basically create a full circle using that template. Now, if you visit their website, moonlightingbilliards.com, and use my discount code LilChris10, you can also get 10% off your purchase. Might as well mention that while it was on the screen. ICA Training System. I am partnered up with the ICA Training System. Those that remember, I was gifted the software. I had to buy a projector, and in doing so, I ended up paying it forward by giving a lucky subscriber the system themselves, and they also had to go buy a projector as well. But given that contest is already over, if you do decide that you might want to try the ICA Training System out for yourself, I have a discount code with them as well. It's not a percentage discount. It's just a flat money off discount, because the discount code is LC, and you get $50 off your purchase. That's for the software bundle, which is the software that comes on a Raspberry Pi. You get a Logitech keyboard and mouse, USB cables, and HDMI cables. That'll get you $50 off of that. If you already have all the equipment, for whatever reason, if you happen to be a tech nerd like myself, and you want to just buy the software, just the software, which comes on an SD card, my discount code also works for that. Doesn't work for anything else on the website, ICAtraining.com, because there are modules that you can buy that are worth $50. And if you use if my discount code applied to those modules, then that means the module will be for free. So it's only for this. It's only for the bundle, and it's only for the software by itself. All other items that you see on the website, it does not. My discount code does not apply to that. Let's see. JFlowers. Can't forget about JFlowers. Those that have been following me enough know that I used to shoot with Predator cues, and I was never sponsored by Predator. And at a point in time, I've been working with JFlowers. I was never sponsored by JFlowers. I was just working with them. I reviewed a couple of their cues. I handled some of their customer service when people were buying cues because of the videos that I had reviewed on some of their products and making sure that the customers were satisfied. And after working with them for an entire year, they basically said, hey, how do you feel about using our stuff now that you've been working with us for over a year? I said, sure, under one condition. I will use your stuff. I will use your cues, be a walking advertisement with the equipment and whatnot, and then wear patches and whatnot. Just so long as these other cues that you see on this side here, these are not JFlower, or some of them are, but some of them aren't. But some of the cues that are over here are going to be for future giveaways, and they're not JFlower cues. So the condition was that I wanted to still be able to, buy cues with my own money, or if someone just says, hey, I'm a custom cue maker, would you mind plugging my cue for me? And I'd be happy to do that. So long as I still have the permission to be able to review other types of cue products, give them away, sell them, do whatever I want, because, this is still my YouTube channel, and I'll be happy to do that. And JFlowers happily agreed to that with their counter condition that I make JFlowers the priority of being able to do that stuff. Which is what I do. So, I do see a question about this. Van Jeezy, is JFlowers the same as Konllen? No, they are not. There's a long history of JFlowers and Konllen being the same thing, and I can simply summarize it by this. Both JFlowers and Konllen used to be manufactured in the same factory. There were some JFlower butts that had, or there were Konllen butts that had the JFlowers logo with some JFlower shafts that were made in the same factory at one point in time. But there was a point in time where things kind of just separated, and eventually JFlowers took off in the U.S. market, or actually even worldwide, actually. And when that happened, Konllen tried to jump on board the bandwagon by selling their cues like on Alibaba, I think even Illuminated Express, eBay, and whatnot, and they would tag their cues Konllen cues / JFlowers, which would be false per se, because it's just they would be just strictly Konllen cues. So don't confuse that when you see a cue that says Konllen / JFlowers. That doesn't mean that it's a JFlower cue. It means it's a Konllen cue back when Konllen and JFlowers were actually manufactured in the same factory. It's no longer like that. If you check out the JFlowers official website, jflowerscues.com, that's where you find actual JFlowers cues. You don't find them anywhere else. I wouldn't, if you go to any other website and it says JFlower cues, I'd be a little hesitant on knowing if you're going to purchase a JFlowers cues, because unless you buy it from the website, there's no lifetime warranty. Because, JFlowers will basically fix any issues that you have with any of your products. Because I know, because I've dealt with some of them where the customers would contact me first saying, hey, I've had an issue with my shaft or an issue with the tip or whatever, and I contact JFlowers on their behalf, and the issue gets resolved. And it doesn't charge the customer. So you got to be very careful when you're looking at JFlowers versus Konllen cues. But good question. JFlowers, however, I do not have a discount code with them anymore. I had one when I first started working with them, but I'm pretty much just their sponsor now. And usually a lot of times I try to, obviously plug their stuff because I currently use their stuff. Am I going to say that it's better than my Predator cues? No. Am I going to say that my Predator cues are better than JFlowers? No. Because I can use what I can use and say they're all great and wonderful. I can perform just as good with them. Y'all can pick up these cues and think they're garbage, right? Because when it comes to equipment, it is just personal preference, right? Some people can't despise Predator for whatever reason. Some people don't like JFlowers because of the issues that they've had between when they're launched in the U.S. and the the launch in the U.S. and then of course the affiliation that they did not have with Konllen, but thought that people did. It's just real difficult. But here's the one positive thing, the main positive thing that I think gives JFlowers its good name. And other companies are starting to do this as well. I just think JFlowers kind of did it first, and that is being able to have carbon fiber shafts at an affordable price. Because upon their initial launch in the U.S., you can get a cue with a carbon fiber shaft for $300. Now, times have gone by, inflation happens and whatnot, so those $300 cues are no longer $300. I think they're roughly around $320 or $350. But still, that's probably one of the most affordable prices that you can actually get for a cue with a carbon fiber shaft, when the majority of the carbon fiber shafts that are out there cost $400 or more. That's just for the shaft, right? So other companies have been starting to do that as well. I don't really think that other popular companies are doing it with carbon fiber shafts, though, with the exception of, for example, JFlowers has a brand new shaft out, the SMO, which stands for Strickland, Morris, and Orcollo, because those are the three legendary sponsors that JFlowers has: Earl Strickland, Rodney Morris, and Dennis Orcollo. And they had some input on the manufacturing of the new shaft. Now, that shaft, that is an expensive shaft that you can get all on its own. I do believe it is $400. Let me go look. Sitting at my computer, I can obviously look this up. $399. So yeah, $400 for just the shaft. Because anybody that's followed me long enough knows that JFlowers actually used to not sell carbon fiber shafts by themselves. You had to buy an entire cue, basically, for $300. But now they have the classic shaft that that they used to have, to where the carbon fiber shaft that initially came with it is now $200 on its own. And then they have this other shaft called the Crown, which is $249, and then the SMO, which is $399. Now, I can't speak much on the Crown because I've never hit with it, but basically the way I can best describe it is that each shaft is supposed to be better than the previous, meaning that there is less deflection with them. And in one of my live streams, I do believe it was my 100K subscriber live stream. Let me double check something. Yes, the live stream that I'm going to be picking the comments of, I demonstrated the SMO shaft and basically did kind of a comparison with it to one of my Predator icon cues that I have on the rack over here, and I was able to show that if you were to hit a straight in shot with side spin, that the deflection is so small that the ball that you're shooting will still go in, and you can actually see that the cue ball is still spinning on its side as it drifts forward as well and follows after the object ball, which kind of proves that the shaft, it has similar less deflection. Now, there's another video out there where the JFlower company actually did a test with the SMO shaft, I think the Q-Tech Synergy, and 2 or 3 other shafts, and they were using a mechanical arm to show the deflection, roughly using the same speeds. What I can't confirm is whether or not if all of the shafts were the same diameter or not. But in that video, it does show that the SMO shaft had less deflection than the Revo by 4 millimeters. So are you as the player going to notice the difference between a 4 millimeter difference in deflection? I don't know. And I had said in my live stream when I first showed off my YouTube plaque that I can't demonstrate that. So I only demonstrated what I was able to demonstrate by shooting a straight in shot with side spin and showing that the deflection, if any, was small enough to where it didn't affect me not making the ball. Like the cue ball would not deflect enough to where I would miss the shot. All right, enough of that. And then last but not least, TaomBilliards. I am sponsored by Taom. I use their products. I now use their tips. I also use their chalk. I use their glove. I have I exclusively use their products. So on the SMO shafts comes the Taom Fusion tip. And so on my cue that I have in my garage that I do a lot of my YouTube videos on, I've actually started to really grow accustomed to that tip. When it was on my icon, I thought because I on my icon back here I have a Town Fusion tip on it, and I actually thought that the tip was a little too hard for my liking. But now on my SMO shaft, which by the way is a 12.5 millimeter shaft, I don't think they're making 12.9 or 11.8s yet for the SMO shaft, but they eventually will. 12.5 SMO shaft with a Town Fusion tip actually feels really nice. Really nice. I've been using it quite a lot to the point to where I'm going to be switching from a 12.9 millimeter shaft to a 12.5 millimeter shaft because my shooting cue that I take out in public is a 12.9, and that also has a Town soft tip on it. And there is a difference. I mean, you can literally feel the difference. But after playing enough straight pull in my garage with the SMO shaft, I've come to like the SMO shaft a whole lot better than the 12.9 that I've got. So I've got a shaft made for my other playing cue that I take outside, and that way everything is going to be the same. That's the best thing I could say about that. Now, when it comes to TaomBilliards, I don't have a discount code with them anymore, but I have purchased a bunch of their products. I have decided that I am going to try to maybe sell them, but I'm only selling the products here in the United States. It would not be very cost efficient for me to sell them overseas because when I bought them, I had to buy them from overseas. So they have to get shipped over to me, and it wouldn't make any sense for me to ship them back overseas to a customer because the shipping cost would just be too much. If you're interested in trying out their chalks and everything else, you're probably just better off buying from overseas, so that way you don't have to worry about any overseas shipping costs. But hopefully here soon, I'll make some sort of advertisement probably on my Facebook page about how many products I have, what prices they are, and whatnot. And if you want to support me by buying the products off of me versus other websites, that would be cool. We'll just have to wait and see. But I do have the products here. I have them on hand. I just haven't decided to start selling them yet because next month it's going to be a busy month since I'm going to be out of the country for a bit. But when I get back, that's when things are going to be different. Okay. I keep telling myself that I eventually need to make like a recorded video where I talk about all my sponsors. And so when it comes to giving shout outs to my sponsor, all I have to do is just play that video and just let it go. Because otherwise I can just go on and on and on and on about talking about my sponsors. Okay. Let's see here. I thought I saw a couple of questions as I was going by. Van Jeezy, you're asking me, do I have any recommendations for EU markets? Well, I can say this, that the JFlowers website does ship worldwide. I mean, it's not just here in the United States. I would imagine that all of the other most popular ones that I'm aware of, like Seaberts, Bulldog, and all of the other ones, I do believe they ship overseas as well. It's just that you got to pay for those shipping costs, and shipping overseas is not a cheap cost. That's the unfortunate part. I am not familiar with any other markets that are not United States, unfortunately. So apologize for that. Okay. Well, I don't really see anything else going on from there. All right. So, like I said, what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and announce the winners. I have 8 different products that I'm going to announce. There are going to be 8 different winners. The same person cannot win multiple prizes. Those that don't remember, I have 3 Roku streaming sticks. Where did I get these, and why am I giving them away? Well, I was at an arcade in my local area, and at my arcade they have this game called the Keymaster, where you have to control this key to go left or right, and then you press a button that starts raising the key up. And when you let go of the button, then the key will push itself forward. And in the game are these prizes that you can win. And you have to be able to push the key through a keyhole without touching the border, like the game of Operation, basically, where you don't want to touch the border because otherwise the game will buzz at you. Because if the key hits the border of the keyhole, and the keyhole is basically a box that almost perfectly fits the height of the key. And if you can get it all the way through without touching the border, then you end up winning the prize. And I won three of these Roku sticks at 3 different times because every time I win one of these, there's only one of them in there. I would win it, and hold on to it because I have a Roku television, so I have no need for my own streaming stick when my television is a Roku. But I had won these 3 different times and kept thinking to myself, well, what the heck am I going to do with them? And I'm like, well, here's an opportunity where I can just give them to somebody. So if you have a television that isn't a smart TV or that doesn't have like all of the streaming services, but does have an HDMI port or an input port, then you can plug one of these in and you can watch any of your favorite streaming services: the Roku channel, Disney Plus, Apple TV, Spotify, CW, Hulu, Netflix, you name it, it's got it. So there's going to be 3 different winners for those. You heard me talk about the Accu-Racks, right? So from my sponsors, they gave me one of these to give to a lucky winner. So you'll be getting your own 8-ball rack, 10-ball rack, 9-ball rack. There's even a 3-ball speed pull rack in here. And there's a pad in here that's called a shark skin. And what you do with that is you place this under your cue ball when you're breaking, so that way you start wearing down this pad instead of wearing down your felt. Of course, right after you break, you want to take the pad off of the table because you don't want a ball to accidentally rest on it. There'll be a separate winner for this. And then from my sponsors, TaomBilliards, I have a Taom package here. We have the V10 chalk that I'll be giving away. This pouch that you can carry the chalk in. Actually, you can either clip it to your belt or clip it to your pants. I feel like I'm missing something. Hang on. Damn. You'll be getting. I actually thought I was going to let someone choose, and I think I changed my mind. But I'm going to send off a white Taom 2.0 brake tip. Here's a Taom medium pro tip. This is the Taom Fusion tip. This is the tip that I now shoot with. And this is the Taom soft tip. I had thought at one point that I was going to send the brake tip off, and then the winner can choose between one of the 3 tips. I think I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to go ahead and send off all 4 tips. And then that way the user can just decide if they don't like whatever tip they put on, then they could try one of the other ones to go with it. I think that would just be better. I'd hate to say that the user would say, or the winner would say, send me the Taom Fusion. I send them the Taom Fusion, they don't even like it. Then what do they do? But you also have the V10 patch and a V10 sticker. And a glove. Now, I'm showing 3 gloves because these are different sizes. And I do have right-handed gloves now. So if you're a left-handed player, you just have to let me know. The reason why I'm showing off 3 is because these are 3 different sizes: medium, large, and extra large. You only get one of these. So whoever the winner is, you have to tell me what your size is, so that way when I package all this up, I put the appropriate glove in there. That's how that's going to work. All right, so that's what, 5 products so far? Wow. Here's the drill partner. Now, this is not what it looks like. It just still has the paper on it that protects it when it's in shipping. You have to actually peel this brown stuff off of it, and it's basically transparent. But you can see it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cutouts so you can create a line drill of 9 balls or however many balls you want to put in here to be able to do a drill. So there'll be a winner for this. I'm not sponsored by this company. Because here's a Jacoby case. A JB Jacoby case. I don't remember what size it is. Let me look. Oh, hello. Felipe Perez, thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. This looks like it's a 3x4. It's a 3x4 JB case that I bought from the Queued Up Network in lieu of being able to do something like this. And when my buddy Jesse was in town, he had this extra tiger glove that he didn't even use. This is a left-handed tiger glove, and said I could have it. And I said, hey, you know what? It's yellow. It matches the case. I'll just go ahead and throw it in here with the case. So you get a case and a glove. So that's item number 7. Oops. And then last but not least, we have the grand prize. Ugh. You have the grand prize of this I think this is a 3x5 soft case. This is a 3x5 soft case that is filled with cues. Let's see, what do we have here? We have the JFlower Breaker Cue. This one doesn't come, this is wrapless. This one doesn't have a wrap. We also have the Earl Strickland cue. I hope the lighting is enough to where you can see it. There we go. There's this little, this is supposed to be like if everybody remembers the contest that he was in, that he won, where he broke and ran 10 racks for $1 million. That's where this comes from. That's why they put the money sign here. But this is the Earl Strickland cue that you can find on the website. Let's see here. There you go. You can see that his name is right here. Now, unfortunately, the Earl Strickland cue does not have an SMO shaft. This is just a regular shaft. What tip is this? A blue tip. I wonder if that's the Town Fusion tip. That's the breaking shaft. I do believe, yeah, that's a blue tip. That's the Town Fusion tip. That comes with that. This is not the SMO though, and the reason why I know that is because the SMO actually has ring work in the on the top of the ferrule and at the bottom of the ferrule. This is the classic shaft. This is not the SMO shaft, but it does come with the Town Fusion tip. I didn't even realize that, so that's cool. And then this is, I already showed you. This is the breaker shaft. This is the jumper shaft because there's also a jump cue in here. I open up one of the pockets. Whee! Here it is. Here's the jumper. So the grand prize is a full package of cues by JFlowers, my biggest sponsor that I have. One individual winner. So, the way all of this works, my live stream where I had shown off my plaque, and I also showcased all of these items again. Go grab the drill partner. And I had showcased all of these items off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to randomly pick comments from that video. When the comment is selected, I'm going to go to the commenters YouTube channel. I don't care if they post content or not. That's not the point. Because one of the conditions for you to be a winner is that your subscription list must be public. So I have to be able to see who you're subscribed to, because I want to see if you're subscribed to me. I don't care if you're subscribed to anybody else. I just care that you're subscribed to me. Because if I can't see your subscription list, or I'm not in your subscription list, then you don't win whatever prize that you're on. I'm just going to pick somebody else. Once a winner has been chosen for whichever prize, that winner is responsible for contacting me within a given amount of time. Usually I'll say a week, like you have a week to contact me. When I'm contacted by the winner, I will give the winner a code, a randomized code, and they are responsible for editing their comment by adding the code to their comment. That way, I know whoever contacted me is the actual winner, because only the owners of the comments can edit the comments. I can only delete the comments. So thankfully, in the 4 years that I've been doing giveaways on YouTube, and I've done some giveaways on Facebook as well, no one has fraudulently tried to come to me as a winner and they're the wrong person. That has not happened yet, and I hope that it never does happen. But who knows? There's always the possibility. There's always the possibility. Okay. So, like I said, the way this works is that there's going to be 8 different winners. There is no way for me to allow winners to pick their products. I think that would be completely unfair. The way this is going to work is I'm pretty much going to start from the bottom and work my way up. So the first person I pick will be the winner of a Roku streaming stick. The second person I pick will be the winner of a Roku streaming stick. Third person. Fourth person. Fifth person. Or actually, no. Hold on. I did that wrong. This will be the fourth person. This will be the fifth person. Hey, Roland Starr, thank you so much for following me on my Facebook fan page. I really do appreciate it. This will be the 6th. The town package will be the 6th winner. The JB Jacoby case, that will be the 7th person that I pick. And then the last person I pick will be the grand prize winner. That is how this is going to work. I couldn't come up with a more fairer way of doing this that also involves the least amount of work. And when I say least amount of work, like there's coordination that has to occur to make sure that these prizes get to the right person. I have to, ship all of these, because you're not going to pay for the shipping costs. I am. Only thing that you're paying for is the time it takes for you to watch my stuff, be a subscriber, be a loyal fan, because this is basically how I say thank you for everybody that's done, for everybody that's followed me this far from the beginning, even now, until I stop doing this, which I don't know when that'll ever happen. All right. So we pick the winners? Yeah, here we go. Let's switch over to this view here. Because here's the video that I'm picking the comments from. So, to also make this fair, I use third-party software. Those that have followed me long enough know that I'm a software developer. I can write my own software that can scrape that video, get all the comments, and I can randomly pick something, whatever. But if I do that, then I'm under the suspicion that I can rig my own giveaways. So to get around that speculation, I use third-party software. This is commentpicker.com. And it's a website that basically does stuff for Facebook, YouTube. Looks like it even does Instagram. I don't even know what this is. But yeah, all I have to do is put in the link, set some parameters, like I don't want to allow duplicate commenters, so that way you're not able to comment multiple times and think that increases your chances of winning. Only one comment gets included in this. So let's see here. I think the video is already selected, but just in case that it's not, let's do this. Let's copy the link to the video. Okay, that should be that there. I have to answer this CAPTCHA. Say get YouTube comments. Something went wrong. What's up with that? Let's see here. Let's try refreshing the page. Do that. Filter duplicate users. We don't include comment replies. It has to be just a comment. So if there's a conversation going on in the comment, that does not count. I don't want to join premium. I don't want to have to pay for this. There we go. 157 unique comments. That actually seems higher than what I remember. Which means I wonder if there's some last minute people that are trying to get into the contest, which is no big deal. Ah, and there are. I do see some more new people. Y'all are smart. Okay, but like I said, I'm going to pick the winner here using this. We're going to go to their channel and verify that they're one of my subscribers, because we've seen now where there have been times where I have picked somebody and have proven that they're not a subscriber, or they just didn't follow the rules and didn't have their subscription list public. Like, they might have been subscribed to me, but they didn't have their subscription list public. Because they didn't follow that rule, I didn't allow them to be a winner. I've even had a local of mine fall victim to that. One of my giveaways that I'd done a long time ago, one of my locals that I've actually had on my channel was picked. When I went to their YouTube channel, their subscription list wasn't public. So I picked someone else. Right after I ended my live stream, he contacted me and was like, "What? How do I fix this? Blah, blah, blah." You know, but he knew that there was nothing more that could be done at that point. But his subscription list is public now. And that's how that works. You got to make sure that you follow the rules. Okay, so Roku stick number 1. Who will be the winner? Let's find out. 3, 2, 1, click. Jim Stone, you're saying congrats. Will you be testing the middle shaft the same way? He is asking about the crown shaft. At some point in time, I possibly will. Or I could. I just don't know when. Let's see if Jim Stone is a winner. Let's go to his channel. Ooh, he's got a subscription list. It's public. Am I in here? I can search slowly, but then eventually what I like to do is just jump straight to the bottom and start looking. But there I am. So Roku stick number 1 belongs to Jim Stone. Congratulations. And so what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to leave a comment. I'm going to reply comment to his comment, letting him know that he's a winner. So that way he can eventually contact me. We can work out the shipping details for the Roku stick. So Jim, congratulations. Now, unfortunately, you're not eligible to win any other prizes. That's how this works. All right. Roku stick number 2. Pick another winner. 3, 2, 1. Click. Oh, wait a minute. Click. There we go. Daniel Escobar saying, "Dude, you are super awesome. Really appreciate the compliment there, bud. Let's make sure that you're a subscriber, though. Please be a subscriber." Ooh, we got a public subscription list. Am I in here, though? Ah, there I am. Okay. Daniel Escobar, you are winner number 2. I know it's so funny. I don't know whether or not some of you are like, "Don't pick me yet. Don't pick me yet," because you're waiting for maybe a prize that you want to be picked. And then, of course, when I get to that prize, you're like, "Pick me, pick me." We'll see what happens, though. Daniel Escobar, you are a winner of Roku stick number 2. All right. Roku stick number 3. Back to here. Pick another winner. 3, 2, 1. Click. Wayne, this is one of my locals. I've actually had Wayne on my channel. Let's see here. I would hope that his subscription list is public. Let's find out. Uh-oh. I only see videos. Oh no, Wayne, are you kidding me? Wayne, are you freaking kidding me? No! You have got to be kidding me, my man. You didn't follow the rules. This stinks. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, my heart is broken on that one. Wayne, unfortunately, bud, you didn't follow my rules, man. And even though I know you, and I know that you're also, I know that you're subscribed to my channel. You didn't follow my rules, man. You gotta follow the rules. So I have to pick someone else, unfortunately. Oh, pick another one. This is still Roku stick number 3. Like I said, this is how this works, folks. I know this person. If you think I'm being unfair, this is how this works. Al Holden, congratulations, Chris, on your success. Keep up the great work. Al, I hope you followed the rules. I hope you followed the rules. Let's find out. Oh, we got a subscription list. Let's see. Oh, there I am. Okay. Al Holden, you are the winner of the 3rd Roku stick. Congratulations. All right. Now, the drill partner. Who's going to be the winner of the drill partner? Anybody getting a little nervous? Like wanting to know whether or not they're... Actually, I really like this suggestion. I really like that suggestion, Pool Ace, that I can at least buy him lunch. I really, really like that suggestion. I'll probably reach out to him for something like that. I really do like that. Okay, so prize number 4. Now we're getting into the billiard products, right? 3 prizes that were not billiard products. Now we're getting into the billiard products. Here we go. Woo. Another winner. 3, 2, 1, click. Rusty Reel. A huge congratulations to you, Chris, on reaching 100,000 subscribers. Thank you for all the work that you're doing and bringing all of this great content to something. I don't know. Rusty, did you follow the rules? Ooh. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Oh no, Rusty. This is number 2. You've got to be kidding me. Everybody that's watching, if y'all don't know now, if y'all don't know by now, y'all, you definitely know now. I don't play around when it comes to this stuff. Rusty, I am so sorry. You are not an eligible winner. You did not make your subscription list public, so therefore I cannot verify if you're one of my subscribers. And I can tell you another story where somebody like this didn't follow the rules. As soon as my stream was over, they contacted me on my Facebook fan page and showed me that they are subscribed. And all I can say is, all I was able to say at that point was, hey, look at Wayne, for example, or my other buddy that I knew locally. They didn't follow the rules. So if I make an exception by saying, okay, you just proved to me now, then I should allow you to win. I can't do that because then I have to go back to all of my previous giveaways and make exceptions for those as well. So the only thing that can really happen here is, what was it? Wayne, for example. If whoever doesn't pick up any of their prizes, like if for some reason the person that wins their prize doesn't contact me, well, then I eventually have to redraw and see if I can get another winner. And at that point, if like like Rusty, for example, or even Wayne, for example, once they see this and go, crap, I guess I better figure out how to do this and make their subscription list public, if I end up picking a name for a prize again, then they have the possibility of being able to win again. That's how this works. So, Rusty, I am sorry, my man. Got to pick somebody else. And actually, you know what? I need to do this. I need to keep track of who all's been picked. Even those that weren't eligible winners. Okay, so we're still picking for the drill partner. We don't have a winner yet for the drill partner. Here we go. Emmett King. This is a longtime subscriber of mine. Or at least I've seen a bunch of he's commented on a lot of my videos. I'm also if you follow me long enough and comment on my stuff enough, I usually remember who these handles are. He's saying, hell yeah, congratulations on 100K, man. The first video I watched from you was the natural roll lesson. The natural roll lesson is a video I published about 4 years ago. That's how long this person has been following me. Did they follow the rules, though? Like I said, I've seen plenty of comments from this person. Uh-oh. No content. That's not a big deal. What matters is this tab right here. Oh, no! You're killing me, dude. You guys are killing me. You guys are killing me. This is sickening. Especially when I talk up a person and then find out that they're not following my rules. This is killing me. This is killing me. Oh my gosh. Okay. This sucks. Like you hate to see it, folks. You hate to see it. We're still picking for the drill partner. we haven't found a winner for the drill partner. Oh, here we go. This is almost getting depressing for me. 3, 2, 1. Tom Vala III. And congrats on the 100K. Are you still using Town Fusion yourself? I switched away from it recently. Didn't really click with me. Like I said, equipment is personal preference. The answer to your question is yes. I'm still using the Town Fusion when I play pool in my garage on the JF 2021. But my BF 805 currently has a Town Soft on it with a 12.9 JFlowers Classic shaft. I'm getting an SMO shaft made for that. When I get that shaft, that'll have the Town Fusion tip on it. And I'll be using that from here on out. So, Tom, did you follow the rules? Please tell me you followed the rules. Oh, good Lord. Oh, there's a subscription list. Am I in the subscription list? See some of my fellow pool YouTubers in here. I better be in here somewhere. There I am. There I am. Tom, you are the winner of the drill partner. How do I spell your name? All right. Tom Vala III. Congratulations, Tom. You are the winner of the drill partner. Okay. Goodness gracious. Outsville. We got some Accu-Racks. Who wants to win some Accu-Racks? Let's pick a winner for the Outsville Accu-Racks. 3, 2, 1. Click. Dart Guy. Been subscribed for a while. You love the straight pull and instructional videos. Keep it up and congrats. Been subscribed for a while. So I hope that means you followed the rules. I hope that means you followed the rules. You've done some content that's 7 years old. Got your channels tab here. Is it public though? You have a public subscription list. Let's find out. Am I in here? Aha! There I am. All right. So Dart Guy. I don't know. That's obviously not your real name. I just have to find your comment and try to contact you. So Dart Guy, you are the winner of my Outsville Accu-Rack package. Congratulations. Oh, we're getting serious now, folks. Town products. We're on to some town products. We're getting serious. We're getting serious. 3, 2, 1, click. Josh, this is my 8-ball Scotch doubles partner that I went to Vegas with. We actually did a live stream together a while back where we reviewed our first Scotch doubles 8-ball match that we had in Vegas, and we still have like 3 or 4 more that we're supposed to do. But this is how busy I've been to where I haven't had a chance to have him over, so that way we can review these other videos. I qualified with him when he was a 3, and with me playing as a 7. By the time we got to Vegas, he was a skill level 4. That kind of hurt because we had to win one more game than everybody else. That was pretty much a skill level 10, as we were now skill level 11. And if memory serves correctly, he is now currently playing as a 5. So that's how well he's come along with my tutelage. Now, after all that talking up, I hope to God he followed the rules. Let's find out. Oh, there's a subscription list right here. Am I in the subscription list? Uh-oh. See a bunch of my other buddies that are in here. Where the heck am I? Did that pass me? Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. About had a heart attack. Oh, my goodness. Josh, you are the winner of my town package. Congratulations. Now, unfortunately, I know for a fact he wanted to win the JFlowers Cues. But because you're the winner of this, you are no longer eligible for the Jacoby or the JFlower Cues. So congratulations on at least winning one of my giveaway packages, but probably just not the one that you were wanting. That's how this goes, folks. Oh, there's Dylan. He's in the stream. He's here in the stream, and he knows I'm in there. I just couldn't find it until I finally found it. Oh my goodness. So at least I don't have to ship that one. I can just deliver it to you personally. What? Like I said, I know you want it. Like basically, come on, let's be serious, folks. I know probably a lot of people out there probably want to be one of the winners of these bigger packages. Trust me, I totally get it. All I can say is you have to be patient. These are not the final giveaways I'm doing. I'm going to be doing more giveaways in the future, but when I do multiple items like this is just how this works, folks. This is as fair as I can possibly make it. Considering that it's not like I'm selling off raffle tickets, and if you buy multiple raffle tickets, then you could possibly win multiple prizes because you're paying monetary value to be able to win this stuff. Nobody paid for any of this stuff. This is all completely free, and you're not going to have to pay for any of the shipping either. So this is why I did what I did here. The Jacoby JB case. Who's going to be the winner? This is where I have to just like savor this, right? Everybody wants me to just pick. Let's see here. 3, 2, 1. Click. Yeah, I even saw my name pop up. Matthew says, "Congrats, Chris. I'm glad to see you finally made it to 100,000. You definitely deserve it. Your videos have helped my game. Really helped my game. Thank you. Really do appreciate that. Glad to see that my videos have been able to help your game out. Let's see if you followed the rules. Oh, we got a subscription list. Am I in it? Ah, I'm in it. Ha! Matthew, congratulations, man. You are the winner of my JB Jacoby case. Yes, I know that. What am I talking about? Talking about this guy right here. One of my moderators. He wanted this case so badly. Sorry, Craig. Your name was not picked. Oh. Maybe your name can get picked for this. I don't know. Maybe. Bruno Silva. Excuse me. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Ugh. All right, everybody. The final package. Grand prize. Now, theoretically speaking, I would really, really love that the winner of this is someone that maybe just has a shooting cue that wants to upgrade or something. I mean, I'm obviously going to be thankful for anybody that wins this. But when you think about it, you know, this is a full package of cues that I'm giving away to a lucky winner. And I personally, I'm just saying that I think it would just be best served if the winner was someone that just has a single cue that's been wanting to upgrade, but for whatever reason, just hasn't been able to afford it. Like that would just mean the world to me. But it also means the world to me that if anybody wins, anybody wins. We're gonna see a notification later on, but Josh Rogers, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. It says at least one of your locals followed the rules because he knows some of my other locals that have won that I've picked for raffles. They didn't follow the rules, so therefore they didn't win. So thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Really do appreciate it. You're gonna see a pop-up notification here soon about it. Okay. Is the suspense enough? What do we think? Is the suspense enough? 3, 2, 1. For the grand prize, folks. Click. Hey D, congrats on your milestone. Please, for the love of God, tell me you followed the rules. Ooh, there's a subscription list. There's a subscription list. And there I am. All right. 80. Congratulations. You are the winner of you are the selected person of my JFlowers grand prize giveaway. So, the way all this works, this includes you, Josh. I'm not going to do it right now because we still have a APA match that I want to review. But the way this is going to work is I'm going to find everybody's comment because I still there's my notification that's being blocked by the text that's on there. There we go. I'm going to find everybody's comment on that live stream, and I'm going to reply comment to them, which should notify them that they are the winners. Because they may not be here in the stream, or they may not see this stream until later. Once they're notified that they were the selected winners, they have a time frame, and I'm pretty much going to say a week, right? Because like I said, December's right around the corner. I got to get all this stuff shipped out before I go to London. Otherwise, you have to wait until I get back from London. So I'd like to get all this shipped out before I go to London. So they have a week to get back to me, so that way I can give them their code, and then they're going to go and modify their comments by adding the code that I give them to that comment. So that way I know for certain that the person that contacted me is the eligible winner. That way they can send me their shipping address and I can ship off their prizes. That's how this is going to work. So unfortunately for everybody else, I can say that I do apologize that you weren't selected. Y'all saw how this worked. Y'all saw that there were people that were even selected, and one of them was a local, but didn't follow my rules. You have to follow my rules. I am very strict when it comes to following my rules. Even if I know you, if I personally know you, have personally met you, have had some sort of interaction with you, does not matter. You have to follow my rules. So that way you can be an eligible winner. Now, like I said, if these winners do not contact me within a week, during my next live stream, I'm going to say, hey, you know, the person that won the drill partner didn't come forward, so let's pick another winner, and then just go from there. That's how this is going to work. And then all I can say is, be patient. Let me switch to this so that way I can. All I can say is this: be patient. This is not my last giveaway. My giveaways get better and better as I go along. If anybody's been following me long enough, I've given away plenty of stuff. Cues, billiard products, cases, Taom products, whatever. As time goes by, my giveaways get bigger and bigger and better and better. And there'll be more. There'll be more in the future. All I can say is keep following me, keep enjoying the content, keep learning from the content if it's been helping you out, or laugh at the content if it makes you laugh. Whatever. When the next giveaway comes around, just make sure you follow the rules, and you can be an eligible winner. That's how this works, folks. And look who's here. Look who's here. Haiti, my grand prize winner. You are here in the live stream. I can tell you congratulations. This is awesome. Now, yeah, I did see these. I didn't even did y'all hear that? I did not realize I had that turned on. Did y'all hear text to speech? I did not realize I had that turned on. Hang on a second. That was cool. What am I looking for? Here we go, finally. I did not realize I had text to speech turned on. That was cool. And it worked. And it actually worked. So, Amateur Pool with Josh. Great YouTube channel. Does a lot of the same stuff that I just see. He's been posting a lot of his APA matches as well. Very cool stuff. Does basically reviews his own stuff just like me, and does a lot of funny YouTube shorts to go along with it. If you're not familiar with this YouTube channel, be sure to go over to his channel and check it out. If you like what he's doing, which is pretty much the same stuff that I do, make sure you give this guy a subscription. So let me show everybody that I want to thank you so much for the $5 super chat, Josh. I really do appreciate it. And he's telling me congrats again. And if he wins anything, pass it on to the next person. That's how great this community is. And I've had that happen a couple of times now before too, where people that have won prizes for me says, hey, you know, I really appreciate that you picked me fair and square, but pick somebody else. That's how great and wonderful my followers are. And then Lopik CSF. I think we saw the notification pop up. $2 super chat. Really do appreciate it, man. Glad to see that these are legible now. So this is awesome. I really do appreciate that. So that was actually cool. Did everybody hear? I'm trying to see. Did everybody hear the text to speech? It looks like oh, we didn't hear anything. So I wonder if it wasn't loud enough. That's interesting. I might have to go back and watch the stream myself to see here. The volume was at 76%. I guess I can make it go up to 90%. But basically, the way the text to speech works is if you super chat $5 or more, then it will automatically read off whatever you type in the super chat. That's the way that is supposed to work. I did not even realize I had that turned on. So I at least heard the super chat as it was going on, which I thought was really cool. But it looks like maybe y'all didn't hear it. That's okay. Like I said, I'll eventually get it figured out. Some people said they heard it, but they couldn't understand. They couldn't understand it. So new feature that I was trying to figure out how to use and didn't quite get it. Okay. So look at that. It took almost an hour to be able to go through all of that. So that's where I can pretty much say, like, if I wanted to, I could just end the stream right now because we've got an hour stream. But we're not going to do that. We're going to watch me struggle in some 9-ball. If y'all remember my live stream that I did with Demetrius, or when he was here, I had talked about being in a slump, playing well in a slump. And these matches, this one and some of the other ones that I'm going to show later on, this is me in a slump. And I honestly don't know if I've come out of the slump yet. During my live stream with Demetrius, I made the statement that I thought I might be, but I've been so busy with work lately that I haven't even been to league the past couple of weeks to test out whether or not if I'm actually out of my slump or not to be able to play against opponents. So what I can say is this, though. After having Demetrius here and hearing him talk about the competitor cycle, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, just check out my last published video where I took a snippet of Demetrius talking about the competitor cycle and published it as a separate video. My attitude with my game has dramatically changed to where my practice sessions are much more enjoyable, even when I miss. What I'm curious about is if my competitive when I'm competing, I'm curious to know what my emotions will do then. Will I be able to like just go like what Demetrius likes to basically say whenever he misses a shot, and he's like, man, tough game, hopefully I'll get it next time, and just try to have a better attitude about this, knowing that me personally, I haven't figured this game out. I know what I know, and sometimes I shoot good and sometimes I shoot bad. And during the times when I shoot bad, I just have to say, well, clearly that's something I have to work on and get better on. Where in the past, I used to say, I shouldn't have missed that shot. And regardless if I think it's a shot that I shouldn't miss or not, I missed it. So therefore, I should look at it and go, all right, that shot is not as easy as I thought it was. So therefore, I should be working on it. And whenever you're working on something, you should know that there's going to be struggles and not really have an expectation of how long it's supposed to take to be able to overcome the struggle. Just enjoy the process of overcoming the struggle until you finally overcome it, and then move on to the next struggle, because it's never going to end. And at least with my like I said, with my practice sessions, they've been more enjoyable that way. To where I do say, like, I'll look at a shot that I think, like, you know what, I shouldn't miss this shot, but I end up missing it anyway. Like I bobble the pocket, or I slightly undercut it, or slightly overcut it, and just go, tough game. Let me set the shot back up. Let me run it a couple of times, and then until I can hopefully make it multiple times, and then we'll go ahead and start the practice session back over and see if that particular shot comes back up, and see if I've corrected the mistake, and then just kind of go from there. And practice sessions have been much more enjoyable and much more peaceful since then. So, in the meantime, though, let's switch to this, because we are going to talk about it. This is during my double Jeopardy night, where we play both 8-ball and 9-ball. Now, this is a 9-ball match. I don't have an 8-ball match for the same week. I didn't play 8-ball on this night. I only played 9-ball. Because my opponent in this one, who's a skill level 9, just like myself, and we're about equal in Fargo. I think he's like maybe a couple of points higher than me, just a couple of points. We're pretty darn close. So you would think that this is supposed to be a fairly even game. Well, how do you judge a fairly even game? Should the score be 75-74, whoever wins, whoever loses, or whatever? I don't know how you would want to classify that. What I can tell you about this gentleman, though, is he is my kryptonite. He is currently my kryptonite. This is a guy that is going to push me to get over the hump of playing in my slump. Like I want to be able to really, really be able to compete with this guy, because in this match I don't. I'm in my slump. I will spoil this by letting y'all know that the match kind of starts off okay, and then you start to see it teeter off after the fact. So this is APA 9-ball, folks. If anybody's not familiar with APA 9-ball, this is a point. This is 9-ball based on points. Every ball is worth a point. The 9-ball is worth 2 points. So you basically have a total of 10 points per rack. And we race to a certain number of points. And in our case, since both of us are skill level 9s, we're going to be racing to 75. So what I'm going to do is commentate through the match as to what I think I was doing or what I was trying to do, and then commentate what I think my opponent might be doing from there. So let's watch the lag, and let's see who's going to break first. As you can see, there's another one of my onboard shirts. My league team has their own shirts. So my opponent won the lag, so they're going to break first. Here we go. Look at that 9-ball. Okay. Like my opponent made the 2. Not a very good lead for the 1. Does have the opportunity to maybe cut the 1 ball into the upper right corner pocket here. Bridging over the 3 ball is going to be very difficult. Let's see here. These are 7-foot tables, in case anybody's wondering. 7-foot diamond tables. Okay, so like I said, we can see that he's bridged over the 3 ball. Can't see anything else since we're blocking the camera. Now, I saw that the 1 ball went this way, so I don't know what my opponent was trying to do. Maybe he was trying to billiard it off of the 4 ball to go into the corner pocket, or carom off of the 4 ball to go into the corner pocket. Not entirely sure. Now, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to coaching 9-ball, this is really difficult to do, other than because in 8-ball, we can talk about patterns all day long, about how you can shoot a certain pattern a certain way to be able to increase your chances of being able to run up by being able to minimize your cue ball movements. Sometimes you basically build patterns backwards, starting with the 8-ball and what ball do you want to use before the 8-ball to get you onto the 8-ball, and what ball do you want to get onto to be able to get you on that ball, etc., etc. 9-ball is completely different, right? 9-ball is a moving game because we have to move from the 1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 4 to the 5, blah, 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 all the way through. So when we look at this case here, the 2 ball is gone, and I would have to go from the 1 to the 3. Now, look at the layout that I'm dealing with here. What could I possibly do here? Clearly, I can't shoot the, make sure my tool working here. Hang on. There we go. Actually, hold on. My drawing tool isn't working. You gotta love technology, folks. Start this back up. Everybody ought to be able to see what I might be doing here. There we go. That's better. When we look at my options here, clearly I'm not shooting this 1 ball into this pocket. It's blocked by the 3 and the 5. All right, so what are my options? Well, I can try to hit the 1 ball either into the 3 or into the 5 and combo either of them in and attempt to score as many points as I possibly can. I can maybe try to play some sort of safety by seeing if I can bank the 1 ball between the 5 and the 6 to go up table and try to hook my cue ball somewhere in this area. Those are all options. But if you look at how I'm cueing, I've got basically some below center and some right spin on it as well, because what I'm thinking about trying to do is to go ahead and hit the 1 pretty darn full. I don't want to hit it straight though, because I want to attempt to draw the cue ball back over into the 9 ball. And what basically happens is this. If the 9 ball drops, I get 2 points. Since I've made a legal hit, if other balls happen to drop, then I'll get additional points for that. But the rack is over. So what happens to the points that are still on the table? Well, those are considered what's called dead balls that you can see down here at the bottom of the scoreboard. Those are points that nobody gets. So if I'm successful at making this 9 ball off using the one ball for a billiard shot, then all the balls that are remaining on the table count as dead balls, and nobody will get those points. You can see I didn't quite draw it straight into the 9 ball. It came off the rail first, and no other ball dropped. Right, so that means I got 2 points, and every rack adds up to 10. So since we currently have a total of 10, that means there must be 7 dead balls. And then we can move on to the next rack. Now, what am I doing here? Am I doing a flat break or a cut break? I don't remember. Okay, so that's a cut break. So that's me using bottom left on the cue ball. And we saw that I made the 3 ball. At least have a look at the 1 ball. I can't tell if the 6 ball is blocking me or not. And it must be. Yeah, it must have been. Because this is supposed to be a safety. But look at that. I bumped the 5 ball out of the way, and I actually leave a big enough window to where my opponent can see the 1 ball. So that was a failed attempt at a safety. You can see my opponent was able to make the ball. The ball comes back up table. Got position on the 2. Can't do anything with it with the 4 ball being there. Let's see what kind of safety he would probably come up with. I don't see him trying to swing at this and try to see if he can luck a ball in or not. Eve says the table looks tiny compared to yours. Well, my cameras are set up a little far away. I am zoomed in a bit. And also, I can't have my camera high enough to where there's more of an aerial view looking down the table. In the other pool hall that I streamed out, my cameras are actually much closer. Here, the tables are just a little farther away. Okay, so my opponent tried to play safe. Basically tried to do the same thing I did, where he tried to tuck the cue ball behind the 5 and the 8, but was unsuccessful since he bumped the 5 out of the way, and now I have a free shot at the 2 ball. So I'm going to shoot the 2 into the corner pocket, or try to shoot the 2 into the corner pocket. I've got a lot of top spin since I'm so close to the rail, so I can follow down for the 4 ball that's right over here. So I am successful. So now, when we look at this, we got to think, how do I get to the 5 ball? How does everybody try to get to the 5 ball from here? This looks like I might be trying to go... Am I going underneath the 7? Yeah, that was a stun shot. So something like this. Stunned underneath the 7 and got position on the 5. So that looked like that was bottom left. Who made the 4 ball? Hang on. I might end up turning I made the 4 ball. Duh. Okay, so I made the 2 and then I made the 4. That's 1, 2. I might end up turning these off. I'm gonna try to keep up with it as long as I can. Then I made the 5. This is with bottom left, so that way when the cue ball hits the rail, it spins back in the opposite direction. The spin gets reversed as it goes into the rail. I think this allows me to shoot the 6 with bottom right, so I can get position for the 7 to go in the side. I'd like to get underneath the shot line of the 7 ball if I can. And it doesn't look like I got it. So if I were to shoot this in naturally, my cue ball is going to go away like this, and so I would have to come 3 rails around in order to get position. But if I'm flat enough, then I can use the same bottom left spin here, draw the cue ball back, spin off to the right, to get position on the 8. Try to avoid the scratch, and I did. I think I'm waiting for the players on the other table to finish shooting. Tables are a little close to each other, so if you're not careful, you can bump into another player. What do I do here? Do I just roll this in? I don't try to move the cue ball, or do I try to move the cue ball? I see I got a lot of topspin. Am I two railing this? Oh, I got a little lucky. I got a little lucky. This is probably with some bottom right. Okay, that looks right. So I just want to go back over here, because when I say I got lucky on this shot here, I'm not trying to bump into the 9 ball. I'm trying to go 2 rails around the 9 ball so that way I could shoot the 9 ball into the same pocket. The fact that I ran into the 9 ball the way that I did and have position, that's how I got lucky. This was not the expected result that I was looking for, but I'll take it. It works. Okay, so it looks like I'm doing a cut break. So this is bottom left. Got the 2 ball to fall. And here's one of the things I don't like about APA. In regular 9 ball, when you look at a scenario like this, you would normally probably want to do a push, where you can push the cue ball wherever you want, and then the incoming player will have the option to decide if they want to shoot the current shot based on where you place the cue ball, or they'll give the shot back to you. Well, in APA 9 ball, there is no push option. I have to try to go for the hit. And if I don't hit that ball, my opponent gets ball in hand. So it's very important to try to have an opening shot after the break. And we all should be able to see here that the only thing I can try to do is to see if I can do some sort of kick shot like this. I'm pretty sure that I probably have some amount of left spin to probably help me out. And you can see I didn't have enough left spin, or I didn't kick far enough down the rail, because with the 8 ball being in my way, I missed the 1 ball altogether. My opponent has ball in hand. Now, this is something that everybody should be able to consider when you're at least playing 9 ball. My opponent's got ball in hand on the 1. The 2 ball is gone because I made it on the break. And look where the 3 ball's at. So my opponent has a decision that they have to make. They can either try to play the 1 ball and get position on the 3 ball to play some sort of safety, or they can try to play the 1 ball and break the 3 ball out from that 5 ball cluster, because I think it would be unreasonable to try to get the cue ball somewhere right here so we can shoot the 3 into this pocket. I think that would be just a little unreasonable. It's certainly an option, right? But look what my opponent does. My opponent tried to draw the cue ball into the 3 ball, knocked it loose, but didn't really get the best of positions. Right? So he can at least see the 3 ball, but what's he going to do with it? Most likely play safety. And as you can see, he's waiting for the players on the next table to shoot as well. I would imagine we're going to see a safety here. What kind of safety could we possibly see here? Do we bank the 3 ball up table and just like maybe stop the cue ball to hide it behind the 5 ball? Do we thinly cut the 3 ball on the right side and send the cue ball 2 rails back up table over by the 9 ball? Do we cut the 3 ball on the left side and send the cue ball up table? What do we do here? So, Travis, these are not the same tables that I played on in the past. I'm at a completely different pool hall. Now that we're doing APA Double Jeopardy, 7-foot diamond tables still, and my previous pool hall was 7-foot diamond tables as well, blue cloth. There's just more lights in this pool hall. So it looks like he tried to hook me behind the 5 ball. I don't know if he did or not. And when he did, because look, I have to try to masse the ball. Oh, and I over massed it. Look at that. Made a good hit though. 3 ball hits a rail after I make a hit, so it's now a legal shot. My opponent will not have ball in hand, but my opponent has a good leave here. So what do we do? Maybe stun out for a 4-7 combination because it doesn't look like the 4 ball passes the 7. Yeah, kind of like that. Who plays the 4-7 combination and who banks the 4? Come on, there's got to be someone out there that banks the 4, right? I'm playing the 4-7 combination. Now, the funny part is, though, when you play this combination, though, you know your cue ball goes this way. So you have to make sure your cue ball comes out. So that way you have a shot at the 4 ball, because look what the 4 ball is going to do. Right? Like, you have to make sure that this happens. Otherwise, you don't know what kind of shot. Like, if your cue ball stops right here, what do? You're hooked. All right, so that was a real good shot by my opponent. Oh, goodness gracious. What a safety. What a safety. Now, I do believe I can see the ball. And I tried to hit this so thin that I leave the ball here and have the cue ball 2 rail around and come back towards the other end of the table. What? Anybody else have ever done that before? Who's ever tried to hit a ball so freaking thin that you end up missing it altogether like I just did? Right, I clearly didn't want to try to hit any thicker and possibly touch the 8. Let alone I don't want the 4 ball to bank its way in between the 8 and the 9 and still have some sort of open shot. My opponent takes out the 4 ball with his ball in hand, gets good position on the 5. 5 balls down. What is this? Is this a 1 railer? We're going to go to the short rail and come up for the 8 in the bottom left and the 9 in the bottom right? Or do we spin over to the side rail as well? Yeah, that looked like maybe just straight topspin. I don't think he had any side spin on that. Should be able to just roll this ball in. Ooh! How many of y'all have done this, folks? Right? I've done this as well. And so we've seen my opponent has done this. And this is what I'm talking about. Because had I missed that 8 ball at this point in time, because this was a couple of months ago, had I missed that 8 ball, I would be furious before I had that talk with Demetrius. Now I can actually kind of just write off the miss. Now you can see here, this table is actually really fast. And that's the reason why I shot the ball the way that I did. Looks like my opponent gives me that from there. That looks okay. The table being as fast as it is, I was not comfortable with just trying to soft roll that 8 ball in and then leave the cue ball somewhere over here for some sort of thin cut shot on the 9. So that's why I ended up trying to play the cue ball hard enough to where I can go up and down the table and get position on the 9 ball. Ooh, thought I scratched on the break. And I did see the 5 ball drop. Okay position on the 1 ball. I do think I go ahead and try to make it. The objective would be to get the cue ball somewhere. I can't get the cue ball back up table for the 2 ball, which is right here. Oh no, I tried to play a safe. So I tried to zigzag, never mind, I tried to play a safety. I tried to zigzag the cue ball up table while leaving the 1 ball at the other end of the table. The camera makes it look good. All right, the 7 ball looks like it's blocking. But clearly it's not. Because look at the safe my opponent does. My opponent is clearly playing better safeties than me. But what does that tell me? I need to up my safety game. Not only do I need to up my safety game, I need to up my kicking game because we've already seen me miss a couple of kick shots. We can add that one to boot. Do you think that you would want to give anybody ball in hand? Anybody? I don't care what their skill level is. I don't think any player would want to give any player ball in hand ever. You always at least would want to try to score a legal hit at the very least. At the very least. Unlike me, though, I failed to do so. Let's see here. So my opponent plays the one ball, rolls the cue ball up table, gets underneath the two ball, which is good. So when he back cuts this in, the cue ball naturally comes over here to the side rail and he'll have a shot at the four ball. He comes all the way out, comes all the way to the other end of the table for a shot at the three. I thought he would have stopped somewhere right around here, but comes all the way here. Because now he can use this side rail to get positioned on the four, so this looks good. Probably puts a little bit of left spin and some draw, comes up the rail here. Cue ball maybe somewhere over in this area. Yeah, kind of like that. I don't know if he wanted to roll this far. It would have been ideal if he was on the other side of the shot line, but this should still be doable because now you just, you go two rails around for the six? Or one rail. But looks like we might have slightly overrolled it. Now we've got the six ball to go into the side pocket. I would have thought that the positional play would be to play the six ball here into this corner. But if you can roll this six in the side, cue ball rolls forward for the seven in the opposite side, maybe. This is how fast these tables are. So I don't know if he was trying to play the seven in the same side pocket or if he didn't want to hold the cue ball on this side to go into the other side pocket. But this is how brutal giving ball in hand to opponents are. Okay, so it looks like he's back cutting the ball into this pocket here. Is he going to hold the cue ball underneath the side pocket? He does. Makes the shot. What a shot. Good shot on the 8. And then just like that, he gave me a 9 ball, so I pay the respect back and give him a 9 ball. And he has now taken the lead. Normally, I would let my opponent shoot the 9 ball even when they get position on it, but considering that he's already given me one, I gave one back. Okay, looks like I saw the 3 and the 4 go. Don't really see a decent shot here. I don't think he risked trying to cut the 1 ball into the corner because it looks like the cue ball will also billiard off the 7 and maybe scratch in the side. So that could be super risky. What's he looking at? Like we got some heavy calculations here. What do we do? Let's see. William McDowell, you're asking, do I find that there are more clusters in 9 ball on a 7-foot table? It depends. It clearly depends, because in this match here, we're using just a regular rack. Instead, because at this league here, we also do use Accu-Racks sometimes for 8 ball and 9 ball matches. But in this match here, both me and my opponent are using regular racks. And so when we're using regular racks, there's just no telling what kind of spreads we could possibly get. So this is the kind of safety I thought was going to happen. I would have thought if you used the 7 ball to kind of break the 1 ball and send the cue ball 3 rails, and my opponent was able to execute it. Now, right here, I'm actually the gentleman that I'm playing is actually the owner of the pool hall, and I'm checking with him to see if jump shots are allowed in this. Now, in APA, you can't use a jump cue. Now, my dumb self, because I have a soft tip on my cue, and I thought I could jump over the 7 ball with my soft tip. And boy, was I wrong. I didn't make it over the 7. You saw that the cue ball jumps, the cue ball hit the 7, and then flies off the table. So, like I said, the match starts off okay and then slowly starts to creep its way on down. Because what happens again if I give my opponent ball in hand? Jay Cornell, I don't know. I know this is Simonis. I just don't know if it's 760 or if it's 860. I would have to ask. So I no longer attempt to try to jump with my shooting cue anymore, especially after doing a goof like that. Let's see. Looks like my opponent's going to go for the 1 on the side. Maybe just stun over into the 6 for position on the 2, or just draw back a little bit. Okay, just draw back a little bit. Now, the 5 ball is going to be interesting. Let's see what we do here for the 5 ball. 2 rails. Oh, what a shot. Does the 5 go in the side, though? Oh, plenty of room. Plenty of room for the 5 to go. Look at that. I got to highlight that. Plenty of room for the 5 to go into the side, and tons of inside spin because he even spun the cue ball on the other side of the 7 ball. That was a really good shot. I like that a lot. Nice high inside 2 railer on the going from the 6 to the 7. Now, I don't know if he's on the good side of the 7 ball, though. He might have to push to the side rail with a bunch of inside spin again and get the cue ball somewhere over here. Yeah, like that. What a shot. Now, like this shot right here, let's see if my opponent decides to hold the cue ball or does he send it up and down the table. Yeah, see, same thing. How many of y'all would try to hold the cue ball for position on the 9, going from the 8? Like you wouldn't let the cue ball go down table. How many of y'all would try to do that versus trying to do this? So you see, both me and my opponent did the same exact thing when we moved from the 8 to the 9 like that when we have certain types of cut shots. Ooh, 1 on the side. Oh, Fernando Garcia, you're saying new diamond tables come with Simonis 860? So then this is most likely Simonis 860 then. Let's see here. We can see the 2 ball. Doesn't look like we can go into this pocket here, but we have a kind of a combo set up here, and that looks like what he might be trying to do. Goes into the combo. This is where we're going to ask for a little bit of Lady Luck. And looks like we got it. Nice shot. I would venture to say there's not a whole lot of predictability we can do once we send the 2 ball into that combo. Where exactly are things going to go after that? But it worked out. Cut the 2 on the side. Good shot. 6 ball breaks the cue ball. It looks like we might have a shot at the 3 now. Like you might have a little bit of stun on this. Oh, and some left spin. I always love watching the cue ball do that. Look at this, folks. Let's try to understand what side spin does on the cue ball. We see that he shoots the 3 ball into this pocket, and look at the line that the cue ball goes. Now, normally you would think, well, look, this is the angle that the cue ball is going into the rail. So what should the angle be coming out of the rail? Well, you basically reflect it, right? Maybe not to scale, but it should look something like that. But when that cue ball is spinning on the horizontal axis, boom, and you're able to break the angle into the opposite direction, that's how you use side spin to be able to manipulate the cue ball. That cue ball naturally should have bounced its way over to the right, but instead, with the side spin that he had on the cue ball, he made it bounce to the left for position on the 5. Now, it looks like he might have overruled the position on the 6 ball here. Going to have to kick into the 6. Does everybody agree with the angle that he's going to kick in? Who would kick in the other direction? Oof. Okay. When was the last time I was at the table? When I did that failed jump shot and gave my opponent ball in hand, right? And then he pretty much almost broke and ran this rack here. Now, shots like this, I've been getting a lot of shots like this in straight pull where I have to do back cut shots. And that's what I would typically do on a lot of back cut shots. Because when you're playing straight pull, if you have a break ball that's like that, and you want to be able to back cut it so that way you can drive the cue ball into the rack, that is generally the most common way I end up missing those types of shots. I would end up overcutting the back cut so much and miss and just miss the shot entirely. And like I said, you talk about frustration when you do that over and over and over and over. And you would think I would have learned my lesson by now. And every time I think that I'm trying to make that adjustment to where I perceive that I'm not overcutting the ball, and I'm still overcutting the ball. How many of y'all have done that before? You could sit there and set up a shot over and over again. You shoot a ball in, or you try to shoot a ball in, and you overcut it. So you set up the shot again, and you try to make an adjustment. You at least think you make an adjustment, but for some reason you make the same exact mistake, and you still overcut or undercut the ball. How many of y'all have done that? Because I've done that so many times. And you want to talk about being super frustrated when you think you're making the correction and the correction isn't even enough, and you still end up making the same mistake. Woo! Talk about being frustrated. Now I can say though, because like I said, this is old. I think I've gotten a little bit better. Now look at this. This is an interesting scenario to be in because my opponent broke dry, and I have to kick the 1 ball again because I don't have an option to push. And I end up hitting the 5 ball. So what have I learned so far? I've learned I need to improve my safety game when I'm playing against this opponent, and I need to improve my kicking game. Now, what's the one thing y'all have noticed so far with my kicks? With all the kicks that I've done so far, what has anybody noticed anything besides, of course, me fouling? Is there anything else that anybody might notice? Because does anybody notice I haven't measured a kick shot yet? A lot of times when a kick is easy enough, or I think it's easy enough, I don't measure it. And typically when I don't measure it, it's almost a coin toss. I'm either going to hit the ball or I'm not going to hit the ball. And it's a coin toss on whether or not if I'm going to be successful or not. Versus if I at least measure the darn shot out and my stroke is straight, then the probability no longer becomes a coin flip. It's not 100% either, but it's at least no longer a coin flip. It kind of at least goes from like, I have a 50% chance of hitting the ball to maybe I have like a 60 or a 75% chance of hitting the ball. Maybe even making the ball. But that also means that there's still the possibility that I can, even after measuring a shot out, still miss the darn ball. Because even that happens from time to time. But so far in this match here, I haven't measured out a single kick shot. And look at the point spread. It's really hurting. Every time I give this opponent ball in hand, it is hurting. Right? The wound is getting bigger and bigger, and I'm just like bleeding out. Like, am I going to be able to stop the bleeding here? Because my opponent is just cleaning up the table every time he gets ball in hand. Ooh. Well, at least I have an opportunity back at the table. Now, this is kind of silly. What do we do here? Think about it. What do we do here? I'm on the rail. The angle for the 8-ball is pretty darn steep. What do we do here? Do we try to get position on the 9-ball? And if we do, how do we do it? How do we get position on the 9-ball from here? Maybe it's just me, but I don't see that it's possible without risking missing the shot. Which is why I don't try to get position on the 9-ball. I just roll the darn ball in. One, I'm at least happy that I made the freaking ball. I'm still at the table. And maybe I can just try to do something here. Right? I got a point. Right? Those are all the good things that I have to try to focus on. I can't focus on the fact that I have this bank shot or I have to play some sort of safety or whatever. I made the ball. I got a point. I'm still at the table. I hopefully still have some form of control. When that snowball starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger, how many of y'all know how to hold it together when that snowball just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger? Well, my opponent overcuts the 9. Gives me another opportunity at it. Right? So my snowball is already as big as it can be, and it's clearly up to me to hold it together as much as I can. I mean, look how much I'm like, I don't know what the exact score is at this point because, my teammates are keeping score for me. And typically, I'm missing a ball somewhere. I'm going to give it to my opponent since he's been running the table. Typically, I don't like for my teammates to tell me what the score is after each rack, and usually I try to block out because what they'll do is they'll probably shout to each other what the scores are to make sure that the scorekeepers are keeping the scores in sync. And so I try to block all that out if I can, because I don't want to know the score until like I eventually break down and ask for it. Now, I'm not an idiot, meaning that I know that I've given my opponent like 3 or 4 ball in hands stuff. I know I'm not in a good position right now. I know I must be trailing by now. And so this is the part that I'm talking about where it's so difficult to hold it together and keep the game going. Try to make a comeback or just do whatever without letting that snowball just get any bigger. Right? But when you go from being down to you have a chance to maybe pull the momentum back into your favor and you do a dry break, it's like, what do you do? Like, how do you try to get back into the groove of the game? Very difficult. All I can do is think about these opportunities that my opponent is giving me And I have to make sure I seize these opportunities and I stay in control of the game. Staying in control of the game doesn't necessarily mean that I have to make every single solitary freaking shot. I got to be able to play good safeties, get good, good cue ball transitions as I play shot to shot. Like this one right here, that was a really good shot that I went ahead and went for. Whereas this one is not so good of a shot. You'll see what I mean here in a second. Everybody's wondering, like, what the heck are you talking about? You made the darn ball. Look at the cue ball. Cue ball rolls like a foot and a half much farther than I wanted it to be. And now this shot's longer than I wanted it to be. But here's the kicker of it, though. I didn't like my position. Negative thought, right? What happens when you start thinking negatively? Anybody in here a believer of your negative emotions, your negative thoughts manifest negative results on the table? I'm a believer of that. How about anybody else? You basically talk yourself out of making the darn ball. Oh, what a shot. Let's see here. Berserker 13F. We are finally using the APA scoring app. Whereas in my old pool hall, we were always doing things on paper. But here, we're finally using our phones and using the app. And as a software developer, I'm pretty impressed at what you can do with the app. They thought about just about everything that you should be able to do with using the app to be able to keep score. So pretty intuitive for what that app can do. Jay Cornell, I'm assuming you're asking while I'm over in London watching the Mosconi Cup if I'm going to look up Charivari. If he happens to be there, the last time I was in London 2 years ago, Charivari was there. We got some pictures together. We played some three cushion together. We got to talking, some chit chatting. So if he happens to be there, I mean, I saw him last year when I was in Vegas as well for the Mosconi Cup. Got a picture with him. Got to chit chat with him for a little bit. So Charivari is I'd like to consider him a good buddy of mine as far as like, the online pen pal kind of thing, Very, very appreciative for the content that he puts out as well. And man, almost 500,000 subscribers. Like, whew, I don't know if I'll ever be able to catch up to him. There was a point in time. Look at that. That's a dead ball. There was a point in time where I almost caught up to Charivari in subscribers. This was when we were both below 100,000, and I almost caught up to him. And then when I almost caught up to him, his channel just freaking took off. Like, I went from being maybe like 10K subscribers below him, and then all of a sudden, like in a matter of weeks, it was like now I'm 20K, now I'm 30K, now I'm 40K. It's like, holy crap! How did he get so viral? And I just haven't been able to catch him ever since. Then I've also decided that that's not my priority. It's not my priority to try to keep up with people in their subscriber count. Whew. I'm glad I was able to make that one. Let's see, is this right? That looks right. My priority for my YouTube channel is to put out the content that I put out. Hopefully y'all like it enough and continue to subscribe. So that way when I reach subscriber milestones, I keep doing the giveaways that I'm doing. And if I happen to catch up to them, I happen to catch up to them. If I don't, I don't. Okay. Now my last break was dry. This one isn't. But look at my shot. I at least can see the two ball. Right? Always try to be thankful for the positive things that end up happening on the table instead of focusing on the negative. The negative would be, oh, what's my shot? There's nothing I can do. No, you can't do. Like I'm trying so hard now not to do that anymore. I'm always trying to focus on the positive and be thankful that I can see the two ball. I can try to control the table in some form or fashion. That's what my mental state is trying to. I'm trying so hard to keep my mental state like that now. So it looks like I tried to do a safety. And you see that? I must not have gotten it. If I looked between the 3 and the 5 and just went like this, I must not have gotten the safety. Like I said, my safety game needs improvement. The opponent was able to make the 2. Well, William McDowell, that may be true that you can make more money on YouTube than being a professional pool player, but I'm a professional software developer. Charivari is a professional YouTuber, and I would venture to say a professional YouTuber as well. Or I'm sorry, I think I said the same thing twice. He's a professional YouTuber, and he's a professional pool player as well. He does YouTube full time. I don't. I do it part time, which is another thing that I have to consider why I shouldn't bother trying to keep up with everybody and their subscriber counts. I can only post what I can post for so long at the rate that I'm able to post because I work a regular 9-to-5 job. And I've talked about this before to where it's like, I sit in front of my computers for 9-10 hours straight sometimes, depending upon my work schedule as a software developer. So can you imagine doing that? And then right after work, I want to maybe go into my garage, film some content, and then sit in front of another computer for more hours on end, editing the videos together. That pretty much puts me in front of a computer nonstop every freaking day. And in the beginning of my YouTube journey, I was fired up about it. I didn't care. I was ready for it. I was producing a video once a week and just gun-hoing it every time. And as time has gone by, work has gotten harder and harder I shouldn't say harder, it's been more demanding of me to where now when I get off of work, after being in front of my computer for, 8 to 10 hours, I'm just like, do I want to edit a video or do I want to do a live stream? And sometimes live streams end up winning because live streams are easier to do. And that looks right. My opponent makes an early combination on the 9 ball. 2 balls left on the table, so that's 2 dead balls. Oh, heck, what is this all about? Anybody doesn't know this guy, Sensei Nate plays pool. I bet him in Las Vegas at the Mosconi Cup. Great guy. Also with a great YouTube channel as well. If you don't know Sensei Nate plays pool, be sure to go check out his YouTube channel. How's it going, Nate? When are we going to get together and do our little podcast episode for your channel? That's right, we're supposed to do one, folks. We had one recorded at one time, but we didn't have the audio figured out, and like the audio was actually pretty bad for him to be able to sync things up. So we were basically going to try to redo it so we can have a better audio content with the video as well. All right, what the heck? I'm sitting here rambling. What am I doing? My opponent must have broke dry. I get to shoot. Make the 1 ball. Got position on the 2. Look at this 4-7 though. Definitely gonna have to try to maybe play a 4-7 combination. Make the 2 ball. This looks like bottom left spin on the 3 to set up for that 4-7 combination. Now we can see the 7 ball is kind of off the rail from the 4. So the question is do I try to cut the 4 into this? That's look like what I did. The question was going to be do I try to cut the 4 into the 7 if I can like cut it enough to get it off the rail, or do I try to push the 4 ball into the rail, have it rebound off the rail so that way I can cut the 7 in? Let's find out as I go. What is it? I think it's frame by frame. Let's see if I can go frame by frame here. How do I do this? Oh, right here. So it looks like I must have tried to actually get behind the 4 ball, like hit the rail and the 4 ball at the same time to kind of maybe hit the 4 ball from behind and back cut the 4 ball into the 7. But we can see right here, right about here is where I contact the rail. So it doesn't look like I did what I wanted. I hit the rail way too soon if I was going to try to back cut the 4 ball into the 7 ball. And so the more I think about this, I'm just kind of thinking, should I have even tried to back cut it, or should I have played the 4 ball into the rail and just kind of banked the 4 ball off the rail in order to cut the 7 ball in? Because I end up bobbling the 7 with the way that I hit it. And you see the whole, like when I raise my hands and everything else, that's that negativity that's coming out. Or I saw cue ball control sometimes. I saw you you said it in the chat earlier, like you give me 3 ego shots before the game goes downhill. And I actually like the way that you said that too, because that's kind of the way that I feel. Whenever I miss, and you do the whole throw your hands up in the air or whatever, and like kind of just huff and puff and all those things, I'm going to be working on removing all of those to where it's like, you know what? I missed the shot. Just like, okay, walk away from the table and, just wait for the opportunity to come back. You can see here, because my opponent didn't have much of a shot. And what does he do? He does what he's already been doing best during this whole match, and that's play to safety. So I have no choice but to try to kick into the 4 ball like this. And I make a legal hit. Well, what do you do? What do you do? Lost control of the cue ball. So I don't know whether or not if I'm supposed to basically kick that softer, right? So that way you basically say like you avoid the scratch. But then do you kick it softer and you end up leaving a shot on the 4 ball? Like, that's the hard part that I end up struggling with, to decide whether or not to kick hard or whether or not to kick soft. Sometimes a kick shot is more obvious on which one you're supposed to do. But on that one there, when you're kicking almost the full length of the table, I don't know if you're supposed to soft roll that shot. Now, we might be able to argue that, clearly I did kick it a little too hard. Maybe I could have kicked it just a little bit softer, but I didn't. So when my opponent has ball in hand, what do? Just sit and watch. You want to do after Thanksgiving, you do realize I have very little time after Thanksgiving, because on December 1st, I'm going to be on a plane to London, since you're not coming with us this year. Maybe we'll see you next year in Vegas. So we got to do it before I go to London. Otherwise, you have to wait until I get back. Oh, what a shot. And the bleeding continues. Let's see here. It's like it's a dry break. JP, is you wanting to know what programming language I use? Well, when I started my career in 2005, I worked for the Department of Defense. I was a civilian contractor for a long time, for about 9 years of my career. And at the time, we were translating C++ programs into C#. So once we got them all translated into C#, then I was pretty much a C# developer after that. Then there was a point in time where they wanted some of these softwares that we managed to maintain to be able to run on a Linux operating system. So I had to translate all of the C# code into Java. Well, after I had worked for the Department of Defense for about 9 years or so, hang on, I'm going to finish my story and then we'll talk about what's happening on the screen right now. After working for the Department of Defense for about 9 years, I got a little worried about wondering if I'm going to have a job or not, because I think it was about in 2012 when the government shutdowns were first starting to happen from time to time. And as a civilian contractor, whenever the government shuts down, whenever the government's not working, contractors don't work, or they can't work. So we were forced to take vacation time. Otherwise we take leave without pay. So I, fortunately enough, had enough vacation time banked up to where I can just basically say, okay, I'm going to take vacation. That way I can get paid. But when the government would reopen and we were able to go back to work, I got tired of wondering whether or not if I was going to continue to have a job when that stuff started happening. So I eventually left the Department of Defense and went over to the private sector. And since being in the private sector, all I ever do now is just Java. I'm a Java backend developer. Sometimes I do a little bit of front end development as work. I might, dabble with user interface code, which is done in Angular, but mostly backend code with Java. Now, back to the match here. We saw that I just made a 1-5 combination, and look, I don't have position on the one ball, but look what I'm doing. It's another kick shot, and I measured it out. And good things happen. I hit the ball. I even made the ball. Right? Easy reminder that I should be doing this all the freaking time. All the freaking time. Doesn't matter if it's an easy kick shot or an easy bank shot. Take the time to just go ahead and freaking measure the shot out. It only takes a couple seconds to do it after I've done it for so many times. I fired that 2-ball in. Didn't really get much position for the 3-ball. But at least I can see the 3-ball. At least I can see the 3-ball, right? Positive thinking. I'm still at the table. I scored a point. Tried to cut the 3-ball in, but what kind of a tough shot must that have been for me to play the 3 and get position on the 4 while bridged over the 8? Tough shot. I didn't think that at the point in time. I'm just thinking like how much this sucks that I'm so far behind and I couldn't make the 3-ball, and everything's just kind of spiraling out of control for me, and blah 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 blah. But hopefully as time goes by, new way of thinking, new way of playing. And what a shot by my opponent. It's a lovely bump on the 7-ball. I think he's able to see the 4-ball. He is able to see it. Oh, what do we think's about to happen here, folks? What do we think's about to happen here? I don't think I'm going to like what's about to happen here. Maybe it's just me. Oh, never mind. He messed up. He finally messed up on a safety. The man's human after all. Now, we already saw that I was looking to see if the 8-ball passes by the 9, because it looks like I'm going to try to play the 6 in the side, get position for the 7 to go here, and then play the 8. But it doesn't matter if I don't make the 6. I do at least get a little fortunate with the safety, though. Can't sit there and say that this was a two-way shot. I didn't go into this thinking like, oh, I'm going to miss the ball. I at least played the position for the 7 that I wanted to play, and it just happens to be a safety because I missed. Now, I saw my opponent point at this rail, but then he ends up kicking that way. So what happens? He makes a good hit. Oh, all right. Gives me another opportunity. What do we see on the table, folks? This is all I see. Six, 9. Combination. All right. I take that one. Then there are 3 dead balls, I think. I don't think I gave my opponent his points, right? Because we're still missing stuff. So I think it's that. That looks right. That at least adds up to some increment of 10. After every match, my score plus my opponent's score plus the dead balls should be some increment of 10. With all this stuff that I'm trying to control for the stream to make it look all nice and animated, just as animated as that kid in the background, sometimes I get the scores messed up. Every time I think I have a moment, the momentum of the game, dry break, and I lose the momentum. All right, so what do? We play a 1-4 combination. We play a safety. What do we do? I like this. You're probably not wrong, Robert. I was struggling this night. And that kid probably does want a piece of me. My opponent's putting a lot of thought into this shot. I wonder what he's going to do. Oh, look at this. He wants to hide the cue ball behind the 7. That was clever. Just hit it just a little too soft. I at least have a shot at the 1 ball. And I think at this point in the game, I am aware of what the score is, and so I go into desperate mode, and I basically try to start making every freaking shot, which is why I tried to bank the 1 ball and just failed to make it. So when you look at this position here, if anybody is not familiar with safety plays and the benefits of playing safes, hopefully this video sheds light on that. When you watch my opponent play the safeties that he's played and the rewards he's been able to reap from them if I don't make a successful hit, then that's where you basically have to ask yourself, if the shot that you're currently trying to take is way too difficult, you can say to yourself, man, this is a low percent shot. I don't know if I'm going to make this ball. I might be 10% to make this ball. Look, I just fouled. Got another dead ball, and my opponent gets ball in hand. What happens if my opponent gets ball in hand? Probably runs the rack. When you're looking at a shot, and you could say to yourself, man, this is a really tough shot. But then if you look around long enough, you can basically say, okay, I might be 20% to be able to make this shot. But then you go, wait a minute, I might be 50% to execute this safety that I just came up with. You probably should choose to play the safety. I would think. Probably. Whoops. That looks like it rolled a little too far. So that way, if you do execute the safety correctly, like how my opponent has done during his match, and when I don't hit the object ball and my opponent gets ball in hand, he gets to reap the rewards and score a lot of points. Robert Allison, is this guy a locksmith on the side? Is that because he keeps locking me up with his safeties? Oh, it almost made the 3 ball on the side. I at least get another opportunity. What the heck am I going to do with this opportunity? It's like I'm trying to make the 3 ball over here. Cue ball's going to glance over here. I don't know if I'm going to run into the 4 ball or not. I do run into the 4. I make the 3. We're okay there, but no position on the 4, though. Since I bumped the 4 ball too far away. I think I at least try to play a safety here. I try to thinly cut this 4 ball, leave it behind the 7 ball, and then get the cue ball to come over here on the other side of the table. Now, it might look successful, but I do believe my opponent can still see the 4 ball, or he's definitely at least going to be able to kick into it. All right, so now we have to look at what happens here, because that's what he's studying. If he hits that 4 ball a certain way, what happens? The 7 ball goes this way, the 4 ball goes this way. So while the 4 ball is going this way, he doesn't want the cue ball going that way as well. Except that. So I get lucky as he gets unfortunate. Now with ball in hand, hopefully I can steal a couple of points. Now what you're about to see here, I remember this spot, this is poor planning with poor execution to go along with it. And I'm glad this happened to me, and I'm able to look at this, and you would think to yourself that maybe I should know better. And sometimes I do. And then sometimes, like in the scenario that I'm at where I'm so far behind, my mind is all over the place. Watch what happens. Right? Gently play the 4 ball. Short rolled the 4 ball. Didn't get the decent of positions that I would want for the 5 ball, but I made the ball. So now I have to hard spin this ball with some left spin to go in between the 8 and the 9. All right, so everything looks good there. And then this shot right here, this is poor planning with poor execution. Poor planning meaning that I didn't really plan it all that well. And then poor execution because look what happens. I get flat on the 7 ball. When ideally, I would either want to be right here or right here. Either one, not this. Because now that I'm flat on the 7 ball, I can't move the cue ball. I can only hold the cue ball in place. Because if I try to move the cue ball, I'm going to risk missing the shot. So at the very least, I make the shot, and now I'm forcing myself to take a difficult cut shot on the 8. When if I would have just taken the time to plan a little bit better, get better position on the 7 to where I don't have to try to force the cue ball around in order to get position on the 8, then I might have an easier shot on the 8 and won't have to do this. Because things just spiral. They just keep spiraling out of control from there. So the best part about all this is I show y'all this because if it happens to me, it's clearly going to happen to y'all. And then as a group, we can learn how to fix these things together. This is the only thing I can hope for is I take these mistakes that I'm making both mentally and on the table, mentally and physically. I'm guessing my opponent's at 69 because, yeah, that would be an increment of 10. Fix these mistakes so that I make them less and less. Doesn't mean I'm going to eliminate them altogether, but I clearly want to make these mistakes that I'm currently making both mentally and physically on the table. I want to make them less and less. Well, okay. Maybe I can grab a couple more points. Might be able to go up to a 5-9 combination. Looks like I'm going to start off with a 1-6 combo. Okay, so far so good. 3 balls sitting right here. Should be able to just play a stop shot on the 2 ball. Maybe just roll this ball in so that way I get natural position on the 3. Kind of like that. So do I play position for the 5-9 combination, or do I try to play short side on the 5 to play it over here and try to grab all the points? I don't remember at this point. And judging by the way I'm queuing, I must be setting up for the 5-9 combination. Looks like I might have a little bit of right spin. Rolling cue ball with right spin. Yeah. So we're going to take the 5-9 combination and end the rack and still try to keep the momentum in my favor. Hey, I even make both of them. What is that? 14, 18, Okay, still doing the cut break. But I broke dry, so much for stealing the momentum. Let's see. Cue ball control sometimes. Have you developed a softer draw since your time with Demetrius? I have. I still continue to try to work on it. That setting the groove, like by slowly starting your stroke forward before you launch forward. I'm still working on that. But I'm also trying to make sure that I play positions to where I don't have to like power draw the cue ball as much. I want to make sure that the angles that I get on the balls don't require those types of shots. But I have been working on it, and I have developed it to be a little bit better. So my opponent, I don't know if this was intentional, but look what happens. I have to kick the ball. Do you see me measure? I don't measure. I don't hit the ball. Right? Hard lesson to learn. Hard lesson to learn. And it's even harder to learn this lesson when you're frustrated. When you're just so down on yourself. Okay, opponent makes the 1. I believe I have the score correct. Ooh, what is that all about? What a shot. 3 goes in the side. I would have thought he would have set up for the 3-7 combination. 3 in the side, looks good. 4 on the opposite side. Good shot there. Cue ball spinning 2 rails around for the 5 in the side. That was a really good shot. How do you get to the 6 from here? Looks like he has to go back up table again. Like he might have some high inside. Oh, never mind. Maybe high outside. That was a good shot. Is that it? Maybe not. Maybe I have the score wrong. While I'm at it, let me pull up the online APA Pool League and see what the official score was. Oh, my opponent has too many points. That's what the score should be. I do believe the game is about to end from here. I gave my opponent 2 points when I should have given myself 2 points. Because there's the 7 ball. My opponent has position on the 8. I do believe he's aware that he doesn't have to get position on the 9 at this point. All he has to do is just make the ball. You can see he doesn't even try to get position on the 9. I end up losing that match 47-75. I think that's right, with 18 dead balls. So what does that mean? Well, in an APA scoring, I lost 5-15. The opposing team got 15 points added to their team total, while my team only got 5 points added. So what are we supposed to learn from this? Well, we can basically learn that I struggle just like everybody else, and this is why I don't mind showing this stuff, because I could clearly opt to not show you this match at all and just show you all the matches where I win. I don't think that would be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Transparent of my gameplay. This is not the only match that I've ever won or that I've ever lost, and I've shown you all other matches where I've lost as well. And I lost this one pretty darn badly. And like I said, this is where during this week and the week prior, because this is a match that I have another 8-ball, 9-ball match that's a week previous to this one. It's just that on this week, I didn't have an 8-ball match with it, so that's why I decided to stream it with the giveaway announcements. It was during these couple of weeks before Demetrius came that I felt like I was in my slump. And whether or not we want to say, because I'm certainly not trying to use it as an excuse, but I definitely just didn't feel like I'm playing the way I should be playing. But then when you watch the live streams that I did with Demetrius, you can basically say, well, if we believe what Demetrius was saying, I was shooting the way I was supposed to shoot. It just didn't live up to my fantasy that I have in my head to be able to say, like, I'm performing the way I should be performing. So therefore, I have to humble myself down, accept the humility, and go, okay, what is it that I need to work on? Well, clearly we saw I need to work on improving my safety plays, because a lot of the times I just didn't safe my opponent at all, and he had a clear shot at the ball. We also saw that I need to improve my kicking game, because a lot of the times when I didn't measure out any of my kick shots, my opponent got ball in hand. And the one time where I did measure out my kick shot, what did I do? I hit the ball and I made the ball, right? So these are all the mental notes that I have to keep saying, keep reminding myself to do these things, so that way, hopefully, I can have better results. Now, just because I have better results still does not necessarily mean that I'm going to win the game, because while I'm improving, my opponent could be improving. Isval Mohammed, thank you so much for following me on my Facebook page. Really do appreciate it. While I'm improving, my opponent could be improving as well. So all I can hope for is, if I improve and I can see the improvements, but I still lose the match, that's something I can be okay with, because I can say to myself, hey, I actually played well, but my opponent played better. And anytime I do, I can actually look at a game like that. That's a loss that's much easier for me to swallow. Other than just keep saying to myself, like, why am I playing so badly? I shouldn't be playing this badly. I should be playing better than this. Just like Demetrius said, should. Now, since then, I've been working so hard trying to eliminate that from my mind, or from my thought process, accept what happens on the table, both the good, bad, and indifferent. Just keep pushing forward and just acknowledge that I'm as good as I am and not as good as I think or feel, and just keep pushing forward and hopefully get better. When I show y'all stuff like this, hopefully later on in future matches, if I show that I actually have some form of improvement, then hopefully what you see me do here and the things that I talk about, they hopefully help y'all improve as well. Because there's really nothing I can offer my opponent. Typically, if I beat my opponent, I might have some tips that I might be able to offer my opponent. But here, my opponent thrashed me. He played great safeties, great shot making, just an all-around, just like here. Mark Bastarach, I hope I said that correctly. My opponent played a very solid game, while my game wasn't very solid. But if both of our games could be solid and someone just plays better, well, then that person deserves to be the victor. So I can only hope that everybody benefits from watching me struggle so badly, because if I can struggle like this, so can y'all. And hopefully what we can learn from all of this, both from my mistakes, can help me become a better player. Hope y'all become a better player as well. Okay, so that's pretty much going to end the stream for tonight. I want to thank everybody for being here. This is something I only streamed to YouTube because it was a YouTube giveaway. I was celebrating my subscription, my 100,000 subscriber milestone giveaway on YouTube. So I didn't stream this to Facebook. I only streamed this to YouTube. So we have the winners. I need to contact all the winners and make sure that they come forward and claim their prizes. If the winners do not come forward and claim their prizes, whichever prizes are not claimed, they will be up for grabs in other live streams. But I will obviously let everybody know which items weren't up for grabs. But only time is going to tell. I got to at least let a week or so go by to give people time to get notified that they won their items. They have to contact me, etc., etc. Like I said, there's the whole coordination that has to go on to make sure that this stuff happens the way that it's supposed to. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off for tonight. I want to thank everybody for being here. you haven't done so already, please give this stream a thumbs up. It really does help me out in the YouTube algorithm, so more people can discover this live stream after the fact. They're obviously not going to care about the beginning where the giveaways were announced, other than they might say, hey, this guy does this types of giveaways. He's going to do more later on in the future. Well, then maybe I should subscribe to him and start following him and go from there. But they might be interested in the APA match as well. So that way they can either hopefully learn something from me or maybe just laugh at me because I played so poorly. It really doesn't matter to me. So, but I hope everybody was able to enjoy and learn something from this match. Until next time, take care, everybody.